What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of Swipe Up, the 46th episode where I share some of my favorite posts from Instagram. Let's get into it with a post from Hippytes, an artist that I follow on Instagram who does these kind of abstract, I don't know what the style of art is necessarily called, but it's where you pour different colors of paint on top of each other, and it gives you this kind of like fractal hippie like tie-dye kind of a look. It's definitely a very popular look. You see a similar thing with the ink, where they'll use layers of ink to kind of give you a similar kind of look, which I enjoy the look and style of the art as far as just from a decorative standpoint. I'm curious to know, however, if there's any worry about being recognizable, because I don't know. I haven't followed enough of these artists that do this style of art to really know if people can distinguish the artist based on their style. I mean, abstract is kind of a difficult thing to do, I guess, in general. But anyway, I wanted to share this in case anybody is a fan of this kind of art and would like to buy some. She sells a bunch of them. If you don't want to buy my art, go buy this. It's a different style of stuff. But yeah, so that's Hippytes. Moving on to, just something to make you feel old. A bunch of kids being asked what a floppy disk is.
Is this? Somebody
Radio
tell me.
tape?
A what?
Radio tape?
Okay, any other guesses?
Anybody know what this is?
No?
A camera.
Sir.
SD card.
A who? SD card.
I mean, that's close.
Definitely close with an SD card. Floppy disk, man. I remember, I mean, before this kind of floppy disk, there were even larger disks that were floppy disks, and they were actually floppy. But I remember, trying to, or like giving, I remember people giving each other games, like bootlegged games on floppy disks, but it would take like 10 to 20 floppy disks. Because they just didn't hold that much information at all. But yeah, it's crazy how much technology has changed just within my lifetime. But yeah, nothing like something to make you feel old. Here's another artist. This time it's James Zuko. I've featured him a bunch of times on the show. He's another ink artist. He does more. It's kind of a surrealism, I guess you would call it. He definitely does more actual figures of things. This is basically a bunch of different eyes, all painted, the same eyes, painted in different ways, I guess you could say. But just it's almost a great exercise. I don't know if that's what his intention was when doing all of these eyes, but to try and do the same eye, what is that? 15 different ways. He definitely has an interesting style and works with ink in a different way than I do, that's for sure. But I enjoy his work, so go check out James Zuko. I just thought that was it's a cool kind of exercise, right? I don't know. So moving on again to Bob Menery commentating on a kid winning $3 million playing eSports.
Well, they said you couldn't get laid sitting in your room for 16 hours a day playing video games, but Booga just proved all this wrong. $3 million richer. The kid can barely contain himself. All those long nights of playing Fortnite have paid off. And this motherfucker is now a millionaire. As obviously he's awkward as shit. He has no idea what to do with his hands. I mean, he's been stuck in a fucking cube playing Fortnite for hours on end. But this motherfucker just became $3 million richer. Wow. Gaming.
That's crazy. Look how big that stadium is also. Like, well, I guess it's not completely full, but still, eSports is kind of a crazy thing that's out there that most people in my circle aren't like, it's weird how there's these giant events going on that are completely, like, there's a huge population, probably don't even know that kids are making millions of dollars playing video games. Crazy stuff, man. I don't know. I don't think I've watched a couple esports kind of things, not completely, but I've, turned on Twitch now and then and watched some stuff, and I can see getting into it. I know a lot of people that enjoy watching other people play video games. My relationship with video games, I used to have an Xbox, was an Xbox 360, but it got to a point where I was paying for like the Xbox Live account just so I could watch Netflix. Because I do so many other things that I don't have time. It's like a distraction. It's just, for me, it's a distraction. Because people get lost for hours. You can't just like casually play a console or PC game. Like, you generally have to invest large amounts of time. And if I'm going to invest that kind of time into anything, it's going to be creating stuff like like creating the podcast or artwork or any of the things, Photoshops, the things that I do creatively, my creative outlets. It's just, it takes away from me, I feel. But good on him. I mean, who gives a shit? Moving on to something I think everybody wishes they could do. Confront a troll. This time it's Kalila from the Tiger Belly podcast on a exclusive Patreon episode called A Troll of hers to confront them and ask them some questions. I haven't listened to the full episode. I am not a Patreon member of anybody. I don't have that kind of disposable cash. My income is basically, I can't even afford the shit lifestyle that I'm currently living, let alone having extra money to spend on more podcasts. But I appreciate it. I mean, I've definitely, a lot of podcasts have been able to gain a lot of money and things through Patreon. But let's take a listen to a clip from Kalila confronting her troll.
I want to know exactly what about me you absolutely despise and hate.
Is this even being recorded, or are you just like...
No, this is being recorded, but no one can hear you but me.
I don't know. I feel bad saying it now.
No, you have to say it. Trust me, I have a lot thicker skin than you think. I want to hear it, so at the very least, maybe we can understand each other better.
Oh, man, this is so hard when, like, the person's actually listening to you. It's really nothing. So I guess the little backstory is, like, my girlfriend and I will watch Tiger Belly, and enjoy it. I mean, we fucking love the show. It's fantastic. She tends to enjoy you more, and I tend to enjoy Bobby more. And I'm immature, so I pick out things that annoy me about you that really aren't substantial at all, right? It's just...
I get that. So your girlfriend loves me and you love Bobby. But does your girlfriend troll Bobby?
No.
I want to know exactly what about me you absolutely despise.
Fucking the dream to confront your trolls. Get on Kalila. She's amazing. I love Tiger Belly. Go subscribe. But that's it for this episode. Let me do some shout-outs. Shout out Hippytes. Shout out ypre_though. Shout out James Zuko. Buy some of his work also, and Hippytes's. Shout out Bob Menery. Shout out Booga. Shout out Tiger Belly. Shout out Kalila. Shout out to you. New episodes of this show come out daily. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Go buy my original artwork over at inspireddisorder.com and save 10% when you use coupon code INSPIRED. Follow me on all social media at Ray Taylor. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!